Well, Dandadan episode 6 is here, and it's teaching us an important lesson about what happens when someone with main character syndrome meets the real main characters. I've got a lot to discuss, and not just how Momo murdered two of her fellow students, because in all seriousness, there is no way that any normal person could survive this. She threw them so hard that it dented metal. That would cripple them at minimum. Great, let's hope Seiko has a shovel. And Aira did not give a shit. She didn't even falter for a second. Just kept going with her delusional ass. Welcome, friends. I'm Merlin with a Y, a certain famous wizard's less talented but more attractive cousin. And I'm here to talk about my favorite idiots going up against someone who thinks way too highly of themselves. But before we get into that, I want to talk about this adorable little dumbass. Aww, go Okarun! Defend your girl! Okarun defending Momo when the bullies mention the rumors is a great way to show that if people mess with him, he doesn't care. But if you mess with Momo, then you're going to have a problem. He'll stand up for Momo, but not himself. Still not mentally healthy, but better than before. Much like how Momo defended Okarun when Aira was talking shit, Okarun has his friends back even if he'd normally just let it slide if it was happening to him. He's so wholesome. It didn't even occur to him that Momo is attractive. He was just happy to have a friend. Even if it feels a little weird for Okarun to suddenly be nervous around Momo when he realizes she's an attractive girl, it's honestly pretty realistic. I've had plenty of times where I was friends with an attractive girl and didn't think anything of it, but the moment someone commented on them being attractive, often saying how lucky I was, or worse, asking me to set them up, I'd always become hyper conscious of them and it'd make me do or say dumb shit. Annoying or not, it's pretty realistic, and it'll go away eventually, with them going back to being one of my top friendships in anime. Eventually. Though there'll always be a little bit of romantic tension. But back to Okarun, the way he not only transformed, but was able to slowly create a smaller and weaker red domain around himself when angry, really shows just how much more powerful he is now that he's no longer dealing with the curse. He's not just some schmuck that was cursed using Momo to access that power. Now, he's a full-on curse user. I can't remember what it's actually called, so I'll just go with that. And honestly, don't judge me here, but Okarun looked kinda hot when he was dealing with the guys after Momo. The way he looks down on you and his voice deepens, it just works. And that's not even mentioning the red effects and how his hair grows out becoming white and red. Honestly, this half-transformed look is pretty hot, even if the greenish skin tone is a bit off-putting. But he's far from the first character to pull off an unnatural skin tone. And I just realized that when Okarun is transformed, he says Momo-chan instead of Ayase-san. I like it. Gives off a more laid-back, confident feeling. Huh, the transformation gives him depression and confidence. An interesting combination. He's got that tired, depressed riz. Nice to see someone who pulls it off almost as well as me. Ladies. Though, this is pretty funny if you think about it from this guy's perspective. I know that normal people can't see spiritual power, or Okarun's transformation. So to these guys, Okarun, the scrawny kid that everyone bullies, picked him up and subdued him with his sheer aura. He just started acting like a different person when someone finally hit a button that they were not supposed to touch. I wouldn't be surprised if that sparked some rumors about him. Though speaking of rumors, we're back to this delusional dumbass. I know I said it in the last video, but Aira really is a discount Teruhashi, even down to the "I am a pretty girl" speech she gives to herself. She has main character syndrome in just the right way where it's entertaining to watch and not too annoying. Yet. It works because she's closer to a mini antagonist than a main character, at least for now, though it can and will get old fast if she's not humbled soon. Right now she's the kind of character that I'd hate in real life. But, to be fair, I can see why she would think she was chosen by fate or whatever. The circumstances in which she found the ball do make it seem like some sort of special cosmic event. I mean, come on. A teenager has an otherworldly item or creature fall from the sky and upon finding it is thrust into a new side of his reality that they had no idea existed. I'm sure you can think of at least one series or show that has a similar plot. And I just gotta say, the scene from her perspective, finding the ball and lights from the Turbo Granny fight aftermath, was perfect. The way she could only see the lights when touching the ball, and how when she dropped it in surprise, the lights disappeared. The camera following the golden ball like it's an ominous artifact, which it kinda is. And how it transitions from the flashback to the present day. The beautiful visuals mixed with the almost eerie music with the heartbeat type beat overlaid. It truly feels like a moment that'll change her life forever, of unwittingly stepping into a world that you don't understand, yet you can't look away from. Though even if she has a reason to believe she's special and all that, what's up with her friends just letting her do this stuff? This is why it's important to have friends that call you out on your bullshit and don't enable you too much. If I tried to convince my friends to lure a guy into a rundown building, zip tie his hands, and give him an exorcism, they'd rightfully talk me down. And if that didn't work, give me a good hit to the head to knock some sense into me. But nah. Instead, they went along with her bullshit, played stupid games, and won a stupid prize. Momo has blood on her hands now, and Aira is too up her own butt to either register it or care. She's too busy rubbing Okarun's ball on Momo's face, which I'm tempted to make a joke about, but that feels low class. But seriously, not even a second thought towards her friends. They didn't even last long enough to get no-diffed by the Acrobatic Silky. Speaking of which, the Acrobatic Silky looks great. It's creepy, overly affectionate, and mentally unhinged. Like my last Tinder date. From her very first moment on screen, she steals the show. The way Okarun's running to warn them and you think he's going to tell Momo about Aira being the strange woman, only for him to say that the strange woman is after her instead, with her bursting onto the scene fast and out of nowhere, her domain quickly taking over. She's a different type of monster than what they've faced before. Less devastating power and more insanity. Its pink domain is cool, but not too overbearing, and she's already proven herself to be a threat. While not the complete overwhelming force of nature that was Turbo Granny, she makes it clear early on that she relies on acrobatics and finesse. We didn't get to see her fight much in the episode, but what we did see was certainly impressive. And brutal at times. Dear God, this looks like torture at moments. I'm looking forward to seeing her fight in the next episode, because she was able to eat both Okarun and Momo in less than 5 minutes. She's already doing better than the Flatwoods monster did, which is interesting considering she doesn't actually care about fighting them. All she wants is for Aira to call her mommy, though the reason for that will be revealed in the next episode. But Turbo Granny really said it best. She's a rookie nobody compared to her. And honestly, Turbo Granny has been the best part of this episode. Her sass and general petty energy has been a bright spot on what would normally be a pretty average episode. But if you've read the manga, then you know shit is getting real next episode. But overall, as I said, it's an okay episode that while not at the level of the masterpiece that was the Turbo Granny arc, it's still better than the high points of some anime. Though something tells me that the next episode is going to bring this arc back up to the status that Turbo Granny set. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed listening to my thoughts on this episode, and will check out my other videos. I'm Merlin with a Y, and thank you for listening to this old man ramble.